Yo, 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 this is Dorky Diggity Dave, and today we are streaming with a very special guest. We've got RoninNupe in the hit house, and we're going to talk some masteries, talk some synergies, maybe talk a little bit about SwitchBlade? What? Yo, 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 what's up, everybody? We've got ourselves some RoninNupe in the house. We are live. Say what's up, RoninNupe.
Yo, what's up?
All right, guys, so we are here to answer some questions and talk a little bit about some of our masteries that we've got set up on our own accounts. So I think this is going to be a good time. We're going to have a lot of fun. So let's get it started.
All right, let's get started.
All right, you guys all know RoninNupe, I hope, I think, maybe. But let's say hello to some of the subs that have popped in. So what do we got here? Oh, we already got a list. We got Timothy Rosa in the house. Yo, 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 what's going on? Lucky Straight Jacket, that's a new one. This will be fun, absolutely. Andre Alexandru, what's going on? Ryan Allen, King Ken Star 92, Sarb K. Oh, yeah, you are on Notification Squad. That is right. Love having that. And Jack Sparrow, very nice. I like it. Lee Bowden, Charliette. Did I miss anybody? Hope I didn't miss anybody. We've got a lot of people, and we've got a lot to talk about. So, RoninNupe, can you see the chat?
I cannot see the chat. We're in trouble.
Okay, yeah. All right, I need you to see the chat. Okay, so go ahead and jump on that link I sent.
Yeah, I'm on the link. It shows me delayed. It shows you. It shows but I don't see the chat. Why is the chat not there?
Oh, open the window a little bit.
Oh, do I need to make it bigger?
Yeah, probably.
Is that what it is?
Could be.
No, it's not doing it. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, you always experience technical difficulties when you try to do some crazy stuff like this.
That's right.
This
we'll
is
get
the
there.
Story of my life. So it's just your live game stream, right? That's it.
Yeah.
See me. It should be on the right side, right?
Yep, on the right side or any one of those sides. All right, guys, one sec. We'll get this squared away in just a moment.
Maybe I need to switch my account to somebody else. Okay, I see it now. I had to switch my account off of my RoninNupe account to my personal account.
There you go.
I guess my own account is like doesn't like showing me the chat. Maybe it's like some competitive advantage thing. They're like, we're not gonna show you the chat because you got your own channel, buddy. That must be it, man. I don't know.
Well, do you see it now?
I see it now. Yeah, I see all the kind of fun stuff. A bunch of people saying, hey,
they are saying, hey.
Man, I also need getting older people, man. This is, let me see if I can make this bigger. All
right, we're gonna get there, guys.
I'm there. I'm good. I am good.
I was just getting wrecked for a moment.
All right, yeah, I just made the font bigger so I can see.
Okay.
So I'm not like spitting.
All right, well, you got you guys. Wow, Tristan. Hey, you got a fan, bro. Tristan said RoninNupe is so fine. All right. Way to give their mama a good fisting. Look at these guys. Will you look at this? Will you look at this? All right, so let's get started, man. So we wanted to talk about masteries here for a little while, and I mean, last time we did this was what, October? So it's been.
Yeah, we did October.
It's been a little bit of the minute.
Yeah, I missed that because that was nice because I was in Miami for work, so we got to meet up in person. Now we're virtual. I'm in Washington D.C. and it's snowing right now. So talk about a big, that sucks.
Yeah.
Thanks whoever said congrats on number 2. Yeah, I was pretty excited. I didn't expect that. So hey,
I should maybe add that to your name tag there. RoninNupe number 2 legend something. I should have put a legend badge on yours. You know what? I'm gonna do that now while you talk. Why don't you talk a little bit about what we're doing here today, Ronin? I'll get you a legend badge.
All right, cool. Thank you. Put a number, actually put number 7. I think that was my 7th, which is kind of cool. I kind of do that stuff to just challenge myself. Try to always go faster, but today what we wanted to do is Dave and I are trying, this is an experiment. We're trying to basically set up something where we can help you guys, help the community, right? So today what we want to do is talk about masteries, answer questions. Yeah, I was kicking in Miami. It was fun. and really just, Dave and I talk all the time and we learn so much from each other. I'm like a big numbers guy. He's a big frame rate, old Street Fighter playing guy. And I'm like, shoot, I didn't know that. He's like, I didn't know that. So you're like, let's join forces, right? And help everybody out and help us all learn and have fun doing it. And so we just appreciate everybody coming out. I'm gonna reveal SwitchBlade. I get so many line messages all the time that are just like, oh, what is SwitchBlade? So I'm gonna talk about that. What you guys gotta understand, it's not a single mastery setup. It's actually a way of thinking. It's a way of like approaching masteries in a fluid way to know that, you know, you can change them and not be scared to change. Everybody's so scared to change. They want like the perfect mastery setup. There is no perfect mastery setup. So I'm gonna talk about that. Dave is gonna show his masteries. He's gonna talk about why he chose his masteries. I'm gonna show my masteries. We're gonna switch the blade up. We're gonna answer questions. We definitely appreciate any donations, man. Guys, we take time out of our busy schedules. We are both entrepreneurs, man. We both out here hustling hard to like try to make $1 out of 15 cents. So anything that you can do appreciates. It's completely optional, but you know, it really helps us, you know, test new things. It helps us deliver more great content to you. And it's just, you know, it's a way of appreciation. And we appreciate you, man. I mean, like, I started this game. I wrote this mastery guide I really wrote it to collect my thoughts, just the way I think, man. I do spreadsheets, I write. And I was like, yo, this is useful. Let me spread the word so people don't, you know, waste points on mutagenesis. Somebody showed me their mastery the other day and it had mutagenesis. And I was like, bro.
Turn that off. Turn it off.
And if we get enough collective power, we're gonna make change, man. I wanna change. Like, I got ideas, Dave's got ideas. I want, you know, we can rally around it. I want mutagenesis. I got a great idea how mutagenesis should be changed. It definitely should be nothing but bleed. But anyway, that's why we're here. So let me read some of this. Dave, why don't you switch to you and talk about you first? Dave first, talk about your mastery setup. I'll comment on a little bit too, look on the screen, talk about your mastery setup and why you chose what you did, and then we'll do the same thing.
Sure thing. It's that is right on the way. Let me get out of line. All right, cool. So in my mastery setup here, I have one available, mostly because I didn't buy enough cores last week, because I just did my math wrong in my head, and I'm not afraid to admit that. So I wanted to put Mystic Dispersion to 4, and I was short by 10, so I have this one ready, so I'm going to do that tomorrow. But, you know, we talked about this part at length in our last chat, and that was basically we want to get over to our precision, and we want to get over to our cruelty. So these two are the ones that we maxed out. All the other ones are just, you know, just a path to get over to what matters. So as you can see from there, I do.
Yo, remember this saying though. I'm gonna interrupt. This is a good. I love these like rules of thumbs. When it's farther to the right, it's probably all right. You know what I'm saying? I still see people with stuff like strength.
It's over to the right. It's probably all right.
Gotta remember that, man.
For sure.
You know, and I also, there's another rule, like I gotta tell just a quick rule on masteries. There is no right setup. It's about, there are no rules, man. They're just only bad. There are actually bad setups, but there are no rules. So it's about the characters, what you're trying to do. Just remember that. So like these are our opinions and are backed by some of our testing, but like, you know,
it's not the end all be all.
Yeah.
Freestyle says, "Who is RoninNupe? Who is this guy?"
I am. Oh, who am I? I've been playing the game for almost a year and a half. I enjoy it. I wrote a mastery guide. A lot of people read it. I was kind of surprised. I'm a 7-time legend. What else? I'm a Capricorn.
You like long walks on the beach, bro?
Yeah, I do. I've been on Shark Tank. What else? And I don't know. I mean, I just enjoy. I enjoy helping people. Actually, to be honest, that's all jokes aside. I really like helping people. That's why I started my business. That's why I'm doing this. Yeah, and I'm actually an introvert, even though like I do a great fake extrovert. That's about it.
Yeah, he's not an introvert. I don't know where you got that from. Maybe back in high school. Okay, so what happens here on the right-hand side is you have these requirements. You have to have a certain amount of points on the left in order to get this stuff over here on the right. So, you know, you got to fill some stuff up because there's some things here that, you know, I probably don't really want or need, but I use them anyway. So my particular setup I have here is 1 in despair, because that's really all I need. And again, this is just a path to get to the stuff that matters. The stuff on the right is probably alright, and that's what we're doing. So one of my favorites is Deep Wounds. I maxed that out. And if you've seen any of my videos regarding the bleed teams or fighting Maestro or any of that kind of stuff, you can see that this completely rips through anybody if you've got a Black Panther or a Wolverine or an X-23 or even a Cap World War II. You get that L2 down there and he just drains them out at least 25%. So
yo, the Deep Wounds, man.
Deep Wounds, baby.
When they added those extra 2 points, I was like, oh. Now I'm like, they add more levels because I'm struggling here, man. Because I don't know what I want to spend points on. But yeah, now, yeah, I was impressed. If you guys haven't seen it, you guys should see the video that Dave put out where he has an R4 4-star, not 5-star, 4-star Black Panther whooping my Maestros behind with some deep wounds. I mean, Maestro was getting deep wounded, and I was just like, man, it's almost as impressive as Dormammu, right? Getting bargained with my fist.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. Man, yeah, but that's a good one, man. That was a very, very good one. I like that.
Man, I'm not gonna tell you what I was doing when I came up with that, but I was just clowning around. I didn't realize. I watched it back. I almost started tearing. But those, just so you know, those were actually, I recorded my last Legend run, and I took the 7 fights that I fought Dormammu, because you have to fight him 7 times on Master, and I just clipped that together. And when I was watching, I was like, dang, Iron Fist is just devastating. So I made that stupid video, but it cracks me up, man. And that was a lesson. You see, Dave's got 5 in Assassin. I should have put 5 in Assassin when I was setting up my masteries. I miscounted, so I only have 4, and that's why I died once. At least that's why I say I died once. You know, happens.
It happens. Or you just didn't get the crit when you needed it. All good. All right, so there's some questions here. There's a lot of questions here. So let me. I'm gonna just pull them at random. So what we're gonna do here is I'm gonna run this a lot like the way I run Battle of the Subs over the last couple of days. So I'm just going to pull questions at random. And then from there, you know, if you want a particular question answered, please feel free to do a super chat. We will guarantee answers, I guess, on super chats, and then everyone else will be random because there's just way too many questions to answer all at once. So we're gonna do our best. But if you want to support, definitely throw in a super chat, and we will get that answered for you.
I even like that name, super chat. So. Yes, we will respond to super chats.
Super chat.
If you ask something crazy, I might not give you a direct answer, but just put a disclaimer. But we will definitely acknowledge all super chats.
Yes.
Right? So don't be asking something too crazy. All right. Like, hey, will you sell your rank 4 Iron Fist? Nope.
All right, let's go. Charlie at Dave, when are you getting your Legend title? Working on it. That'll be, see, I don't know, I talk to Ronin about this all the time, and I don't know if I have that kind of crazy stamina, dude. Like, even when I did Realm of Legends, over, like, the course of 3 days. Like, I had to put it down, you know, go have some dinner, come back to it, and do the next fight. You know, I told my alliance I'll be back for a little while, and I just did that and chilled out. But yeah, I mean, I think I would try it.
Important question, Dave. Somebody asked what super chat is. That is an important question to answer that.
Super chat is that little $sign below the chat at the bottom. That allows you to make a direct donation to Dork Lessons, and that allows you to have your question featured, and it's nice and big text. It's colored this way. You can get your question noticed, and we will acknowledge. So it's a great way to help support, and really nothing more. It's just a way to support us, helping you. So help us, help you, help us, help you.
Yes, exactly. Completely optional, but like, yeah, I mean, like we said, we take a lot of time out of our schedules and stuff like that. I have plenty to do. I'm in my office today, but yeah, man, I just love giving back to the community. So.
Yeah.
All right. Super chat came through.
Tristan is on you, bro. Okay, let me see what we got here. Ryan Allen, what's the best mastery setup to get through Act 4?
Ooh, that's an interesting one.
That is an interesting one.
So I'll give some thoughts. You definitely need the basics, man. You need the cruelty. You need the basic stuff. I would definitely recommend Assassin. Because it just helps with those final blows. What else do you think you need, Dave?
I mean, Act 4 for me was I used Black Spidey for a lot of it. It's a little thing I did back in the day. I don't use him as much as I should, but I used him a lot. I was stacking on armor breaks, like 6, 7, or 8 of them, and using L2 and just knocking people out. So, but in terms of mastery, I would say Glass Cannon is definitely one of them. I don't know if I would go with any suicides for Act 4. There's just too much hijinks going on in that act. There's just all kinds of stuff. I would stick with doing the Glass Cannon, man, and either doing like Mystic Dispersion if you have a Mystic character, or Deep Wounds if you have a Bleed character. What do you think about that? Did you use suicides when you did Act 4?
Good gracious, that was so long ago. Probably not. Yeah, I don't think I did. I'm a mixed fan about Glass Cannon. I did a spreadsheet analysis about it. It really helps it actually helps R4s. So that's the interesting, R4 5 stars, because it's a percentage. The percentage is only 7.4% more, something like that, if you put 3 points in it.
Yeah.
Or 6.8, something like that. I can't remember. We could look. Why don't you actually get the accuracy? Is it 6.4? So click on it, Dave. Is it 6.4 or 7.2 or something like that? I prefer. Yeah, 7.2% more. It does make a difference, actually, especially the higher, because think about it, a percent of 10, 7% of 10 is like 7. Or not, what is it? Excuse me, my math's terrible. 0.7. You know what I'm talking about? So, but if you have like a 2,000 attack character, it becomes significant. And so I did run Max Glass Cannon on my Cable Legend run. So yeah, I think it does help the speed. So it really depends. I wouldn't recommend it unless you already have a character that's an R5 or
what about when specials come into play, though? Like if you do have like a Black Spidey and you're throwing 7.2% more on a guaranteed L2 crit,
but it's not 7.2. It's 7.2% more attack. It's actually not 7.2% more damage. It's important to realize that. So the interesting thing is, I've been really trying to dig into Commander, giving more numbers. So for example, if you look at like a 25% crit damage synergy, it doesn't actually give 25% more damage on that critical.
Interesting.
And I've been trying to distill what it is. I think it's 25% over the difference maybe between what the critical damage is and the regular damage or some modifier, but it's not a raw number. You can't just go in there strangely and say 7.4% more attack is going to give me 7.4% more damage. It doesn't work that way.
BC Discman is saying Glass Cannon boo, so he doesn't like that either. We have another question from Jonathan Sorp. Should I dump my 1 point in courage or a point in glass cannon?
All right, if you're doing 1 point, like this is my opinion. If you're doing 1 point generally, I would do an encourage over glass cannon, mainly because 2 point percent is not going to make that much of a difference, and the likelihood that glass cannon gives more PI. I mean, not glass cannon, excuse me. What is it? Courage gives more PI, which just helps you in arenas more. It's nice. It's a nice kick in when you're below 50%. I try to stay above 50%, but they're both good in some ways. But if it was really between those two, I personally would do courage, if that's the trade-off.
Well, also courage really it really beefs up your characters for AW defense as well, because when you've got them below 50%, you're going to want that extra damage anyway on your defenders. So, I would agree with that.
Yeah. Interesting stuff. If we'll finish, Dave, we're fielding questions. Finish telling us about the rest of your mastery choices. I know people are like, I saw some SwitchBlade. I'm gonna show it off. We're gonna answer some questions. So guys, we're trying real hard to balance the questions, because I'm sure there are tons of questions, with actually showing off why we made choices too. And so we're new at this. Hopefully we'll do it more times and be smoother.
Yeah, for sure. We're gonna work on doing this on some kind of a semi-consistent basis to have thoughts and chats with RoninNupe and Diggity Dave, or something that sounds good.
Semi-consistent. That reminds me, there's like a funny YouTube video where Mike Tyson's like, I'm a semi-decent father.
I think
semi-consistent.
I think what we're gonna call this, we're gonna do Right and I with Dave and RoninNupe. All right, so okay, let's get into the rest of this. So this is how I have my setup. I did unlock pure skill. I wasn't really all that impressed with it when I used it, so I kind of turned that one off. Now over in my defense, again, you've got this pathway built. You're getting one just to get to the next, and so some of the things that I have here on the left are only here because I chose to have willpower. If I didn't have willpower, I wouldn't have everything that I have over here. Like, for instance, salve. I don't really need to have any more than one in there, in my opinion. And I wouldn't really put all that much into block proficiency, maybe just a little bit more. But I remember RoninNupe talking about how there's actually more block proficiency than what they say based on his numbers.
Yeah, man, the numbers, man. Like telling you, the 8% is stupid. The 8% is like not 8%. It's like better. Tell you, man, if you want to just do something. I mean, maybe I'll make a video about that, but put 4 points in block proficiency. Go ahead and fight Winter Soldier and Realm of Legend and just block him, and then take it off. And you'll notice a big difference, man. It's weird. It's the numbers. Kabam got some weird coding logic. I mean, I love the game, but the percentage of the percentage. Maybe they need to let me in their database. Man, let me in your database, Kabam, or Netmarble now. Let me in your database. Let me see the software. I have written software before, and I know algorithms. I understand that. Let me see the calculations. I could probably help out a little bit, console a little bit. We can streamline some stuff.
I would like that. I would like that for sure. Show me your marbles. So we just got blasted out by the infobot, by the way. So we need to watch the numbers, see how many people are in the room, and welcome as many people as we can. Okay, so we're gonna run through this real quick. So again, I have my willpower and coagulate over here, and again, I needed to have 15 in my defense before I could do any of that. So that's why I have so many levels and all the rest of this stuff, because literally I don't really need stand your ground to be at 3. I only really need 1, maybe none at all. I rarely get hit by heavy attacks except for yesterday's stream or the day before. Can't remember. I was getting blasted by them over and over. I was trying to put on overrun, and I kept getting hit by kept getting hit. Anyway, so I've got these in here, and probably, I mean, I've been thinking about this. I don't even know if I need willpower these days. It's very, very few points where I really feel I need it, because I don't get hit by bleeds all that much. I don't get hit by degen all that much. So it might be something I may turn off in the future just to put on like suicides and and Mystic Dispersion and Deep Wounds and, max out Assassins all at the same time and just see how nasty I can get as an attacking tool. And then my utilities are here. I've got 1 in Limber. I've got 3 in Mystic Dispersion, which I'm hoping to get to 4 tomorrow. And other than that, I've got my parry stuff. Maxed out parry, got maxed out Stupefy, which, adds 0.5 seconds, but 0.5 seconds makes all the difference. With my fist! Yes. And we've got some Petrify going on here. I love Petrify because while they're stunned, you can just wail on them and they're getting 30% less power gain. And that's just the way I like to roll. And D3F1 says he doesn't need willpower. You're probably right. I don't think I need willpower. What do you think, Ronin?
I'm gonna talk about that. I'm gonna talk about that in my build. So
okay.
Yes and no. Yes, you do need it, and no, you don't. So I'll talk about that in a little bit. Just I'll leave you suspense, but we'll do that.
All right. Well, let's take a look at your setup. Are you ready to go?
I am ready to go, man.
All right. Let's switch you over.
Can everybody see? Can you see?
Yeah, I got you. You're good to go.
All right, so boom. I'm talking about my setup here. So this is what I used for my last Legend run.
Oh, wait, hold on.
Iron Fist.
Hold on one sec. There's a very important question. Phil Woe says, why no Pacify? And there's a very good reason for that. It's because I'm using Mystic Dispersion, and I actually want those buffs to come up because that's what's powering my power meter. I need those buffs to come up. If I bring that down by 30%, I'm bringing down my power gain, arguably by 30%. And I don't want to do that. So that is why we're not using Pacify. All right.
So
go ahead.
Yeah, no, I don't like Pacify. I don't know. Like, I'm just weird, man. I would like it more if when things were pacified, there was a little notification that said pacified. Because it's like, I don't know when it's working or not. It kind of pisses me off. Like, really, to be honest, that's mainly the reason I don't like it. Secondly, I don't like it when I run Mystic Dispersion. It's only 30% max. It's only when you stun. It's like really like doo-doo-doo. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm sound effect. Like, yeah, it's just like it's like womp womp. Maybe that's a sound effect. It's just not. It doesn't move me. So I'm gonna show you what I currently have. This is not the mastery setup I'm gonna stay with, because this is a variant of SwitchBlade. So this is what I used to run my last run on when I was fighting Dormammu. I probably should have maxed Glass Cannon. I'm gonna explain to you why I made the choices, and then I'm actually gonna show you what SwitchBlade is. Remember, SwitchBlade is not a mastery fixed setup. It is a concept. So I'm gonna say it one more time. SwitchBlade is a concept. The concept of SwitchBlade is to be able to switch your masteries at it very cheaply for any need. And the way I designed SwitchBlade is you fix your defense. And it has optimally, I would change everything, but then it adds up the points. So it's a fixed defense. So you think about offense, utility, you're switching the blade. So that's what it is. So let me run through real quickly. Man, I'm clicking things. This is a basic suicide setup with almost maxed assassin. And I should have maxed assassin, but the problem is when I set it up, when I was switching around, pop over to utility, I saw the quest. I saw Seaton do the quest, and I was like, oh, snap, all this power gain. I want to use my fist. I don't want to use Witch. Let me max Petrify. So I went over there, and I maxed Petrify because I'm like, I'm going to be parrying, and I'm going to be pounding. Parry, pound. And I don't want Dormammu to pound me, which he did once, unfortunately. He pounded me badly. And so that's why I did it. I wanted to stupefy to max the addition of the stun. Here's an interesting thing. I only put 1 in parry. A lot of people think that you need to like max parry. And the funny thing about it is you look at parry, it's 20% damage reduction at 1, and it's at 3, it's 33%. If you're running speed and you're running stuff, you don't really need to always max parry. Like, It's great if you're playing high level AQ, AW, because that damage adds up. But if you're speeding, you don't need a max parry. And like I said, I switch. And so on my Switchblade, on defense, I always basically use, if I'm running willpower, I personally always use the exact same 15 points to the left, just because I like it. It's a good combination of PI. And Dave, interrupt me if we have any kind of questions. If we have any super questions, anything, like, stop me.
No, we're good.
I'm
we're
looking
good.
at my screen. I'm trying to look at chat. I'm looking at too many things, and I got straight up ADD, so I'm trying to just stay focused. And in my Switchblade handle, because the defense is the handle, I use 3 and Coagulate, because I use that to offset the bleed from, what is it? The bleed from Double Edge. I mix all these names. And so this in Switchblade stays fixed. Now, you don't have to have the same handle. I call the defense the handle. You don't have to. Like, I have had versions of Switchblade where I've kept only 1 in willpower. I've had versions, like if I'm arena grinding, you don't even need willpower if you're arena grinding. I have had versions where I've had in, inequity. I actually like Inequity with Iron Fist. It's actually Inequity with Iron Fist actually makes Iron Fist pretty badass. Excuse me, bad.
That's okay. I think that one works on the channel. I can deal with that. It's in the dictionary. So
yes, it makes him pretty bad because he adds so many armor breaks, and if it basically does turn. You don't even need max parry. It turns parries into 0 damage. It also, if he does get hit, really helps reduce the damage because he easily gets 5-6 stacks. But anyway, that's the handle, right? You got that. This is, you know what I'm saying? I know there's probably gonna be a lot of questions about this. And so literally with Switchblade, I'm gonna show you what I do. I'm gonna actually switch my blade because I am no longer speed questing. I'm not going for any of these new champions because this just takes time and energy. I will spend, let's keep a running tab. Let's see how many units it costs me to switch my blade. All right, you ready, Dave?
Switch them up, I'm ready.
I am recovering my offense. Boom. I'm going over to my utility. I want my parry back up.
Wait, can that almost sounds like the old school like Chili's commercial? I want my parry back, parry back, parry back, parry back.
Yeah, I want my parry. I want my boom. Like, look, notice. Notice I'm at 11, right? I'm at 11 points now. 11 points. You know what that means? That means I could take my Mystic Dispersion, which I love Mystic Dispersion, and I can max that out. And I know people have asked questions. I like Max. That's a tongue twister. I like Mystic Dispersion.
Max Mystic.
Yeah. So here's why I like Max Mystic Dispersion. I like Max Mystic Dispersion because it adds significantly more power. People always say, oh, you're gonna overshoot 8%. 12% is 50% more than 8%. It actually, we've seen it in wars as defenders. It kills a lot more people with max. Secondly, I've gotten good. I don't really overshoot. Like the times I overshoot with Scarlet Witch or Strange is, what happens is, like if you're fighting, the tech symbiote and he counterspells everything, he's like, and he's full.
Yep.
Or, like other guys like Howard the Duck or any other stuff, but it's fairly rare and I actually don't mind the L3s. I know I prefer the L2s, but the L3 of Strange and Scarlet Witch both nullify, which then fuels Mystic Dispersion anyway, which will give you some more points back, right? So it doesn't bug me. I like Max Mystic Dispersion. So it is, yes, Gary, it is OP. I think it's overpowered. I think it's expensive. It's 80 units.
It is expensive. That's the OP part of it. That's the equalizer.
It is 2,400 units to get the last set of cores. Somebody asked how it works. Mystic Dispersion is real simple. So it adds power to your bar every time a beneficial effect expires. So what that means is, like, imagine if like Hulk gets Fury and he's done being angry, you get 12% energy. Or if like it's better with like, the tech symbiote, He has like 9
Oh, yeah.
armor or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Doctor Strange will come over there and counterspell almost up to all of them. You'll get 12% more power for every one that expires. And so it's great with Witch and them. Their power goes out the roof. And
Yeah.
it really sucks on for defenders because, you know, every time you dash back with like a deep evade or you do an evade and you get the little, dexterity buff, what happens is once that goes away, you're fueling Juggernaut or Strange, you're giving them massive amounts of power.
Yep.
And the thing I learned too is the thing about it is if you dash back, right, and then it's a dexterity dash back, and then you do it again, that's like 2, and you're fueling, he's already at 25%. You do that 3 times, that's 36%. That's already a bar of power, like 3 beneficial effects, can't even say it. 3 beneficial effects expired with Mystic Dispersion max is already a full bar of power.
Yep.
And that can happen easy. And so, you know, 9 or actually even 8 if you do the math, 8 is like a full, you know, what is it, L3, level 3 kind of attack.
Yep.
So anyway, let me finish switching up, Blade.
I mean, I will say this on that, what you were talking about is when he's talking about expiring effects and he's talking about like counterspell and stuff like that. An expiring effect is expiring with time, which is one aspect of it, but the other aspect of it is forcing a nullification through Scarlet Witch, who nullifies buffs, or Dr. Voodoo, who nullifies buffs. If you guys have been watching those Dr. Voodoo videos, he's already sick nasty, and Mystic Dispersion just fuels that because not only does he put one of the Loas on them, which is an empty buff, but it's an empty beneficial buff. So he is enacting Mystic Dispersion off of something he already applied to you. He's like the only hero that does that.
I'm jelly of Voodoo. I do not have Voodoo. I saw that, but I didn't have time to grind for him. I popped some crystals, and the crystal screwed me. They were like all 2 stars and stuff.
It happens, man. It happens. And I do want to point out that RoninNupe did say deep evade. That is directly from the How to Evade Like a Ninja video, so I appreciate you using that terminology, the Dork Lessons terminology on the channel. I like it. Appreciate it, bro.
Yeah, it's a deep evade. Deep evade. My fist. All right. So let me keep going. So somebody asked about the goggles, man. Sorry, man. There's so much chat. It's hard for me to like see them all. If you guys definitely want some answers, super chat, we will give priority to. Appreciate it. So I use the goggles for war. If you're a serious war player, I'll use these. What are they called? Detect. So I've unlocked them all. I typically use Detect, Mystic, and Detect Science. Mystic at the high tier level wars, Mystic seems to be like one of the most used defenders because basically Mystic Dispersion is overpowered and it really is, it makes fights difficult, like Magic. Seaton talked about those defenders. Did you notice how like a lot of the boss decisions, I don't know if you've seen that video too, are they're gross. And so I want to know if I need to bring my Captain America World War II into that battle because he doesn't really have beneficial effects other than dexterity if you do a deep evade. And so so I want to, people are sending me work notifications, you see. And so I do that. And I also like science because science, if you run into the people with the wrong science, like against a science character, like mostly at the top tier, they don't run Electros, occasionally Rhinos and Spinies. You want to know to go in with your Electra or your Black Widow or your stuff. Otherwise, you can just basically lose a character. And so the Detect masteries actually save you units. They're not necessary, but they save you units. So going over, let's finish switching it. So I'm going to rebuild. I'm going to rebuild my my offense. So I'm doing that right now. I always kind of just build this like clockworks. I always add these, what is it? Is it 15? I think it's 15 when you add them up because I've done it so many times. These never change. These amounts never change. Dave, do you agree that these never change?
No,
these 15 that I'm adding?
Yeah, those are pretty much the same. And I mean, you guys are living in great times because this used to be an expensive thing. Like a really expensive thing. Like you had to save up a good amount of units to switch, which is probably where the idea of getting one mastery set up and just keeping it forever came from, because you never wanted to go and spend 200 and something units to switch out every single time, especially if you were, you know, maybe going for a featured in the arena and then hopping back into Alliance Quest or Alliance War. Nobody wanted to spend 250 units just to reset everything and make it, you know, the best for each one. It just wasn't worth it. So the fact that you're adding stuff for like 1 and 2 units is pretty crazy.
Yeah, and so like look what I've done. Like, so I've already built the core offense, and then now I'm sitting with 5 points. So typically, you know, I vary. Sometimes I don't have Mystic Dispersion. Sometimes I have pure skill. I like pure skill. Dave said he's iffy on it. It's really only good if you like 4 or 5. It's really good for war. It will make Black Widow slice through Rhino like butter. It just helps. There's so many nodes in war now that have such high armor that takes forever. Having max pure skill really helps with your champions. Anyway, so I'm just gonna take back my typical one, my typical setup. I'm just switching for probably war and some other stuff. I'm not gonna be grinding for anything. I've just switched. I like assassin. I like points in there. Let's see, I'm gonna do, every time I switch the blade, it's never exactly the same. That's the key. So this time, I guess, do I want courage? Somebody was talking about, no, I don't really want, I'm not grinding the arena, so I'm not gonna bother with the courage PI. I'd rather just have another point in assassin to have more attack, because, you know, I consider this as switching to like a pretty much a war offense setup. And this is actually a good war offense and war defense setup. I run some variant of this pretty much if I'm using SwitchBlade for the war. And you're probably gonna say like, well, man, why do you have 3 points in, still in, what is that thing, Coagulate? You know, I just leave it there, right? That's the point. You want something, there are some trade-offs, but like how many points did that cost me, Dave? How many points, what did we start off with? Did you pay attention?
No, but I can go back. Somebody can. Someone could tell us how many points you had. I mean, I believe you had like 20 something, I thought. Hold on.
Yeah, units. Like, how many units did that cost me to switch?
Oh, your units? It's less than 20, bro.
No.
It had to be around there.
No, it was more. It was probably about 50. I think I had 16, 20 or so, 50 or 70. But basically the point I'm saying is like, it costs less than a crystal, like one featured crystal, to switch and then to switch back. So that's kind of the point I'm saying. Think about that. One feature crystal, you can have an arena, like you can go grind for arena. Hey, what's up, Shah? What's up? Oh, I see names. I haven't been paying attention to the chat, but I see names. I had to give some shout outs to some people.
For sure.
I always, Shah 59, man, he's like the number one on the legend leaderboard. This guy's an animal. He's an ISO 8A. I just saw him pop up in there. Beast mode, man. And Shah 59, I always, I laugh at that handle because I always say Shah dropped dime, right? He lost 10 points. He could be Shah 69. Ha ha ha. But anyway, 1634. Yeah, so like, what was that? That was not even, if I switch back, it's even cheaper to switch back, because think about it. If I switch back to suicides, I'm only spending 18 points to recover utility. I'm rebuilding that utility for like, another 9 points or so, right? So that's 18, 9, 20, 27. And then I'm just re-adding the suicides for like probably like around 40. What's up, Tenacious DMZ? So you know what I'm saying? That's less, I'm not gonna switch it again because I'm not just trying to waste units. You know what, screw it. I'm gonna switch it again. I don't care. This is here for educational purposes. We're gonna see, I'm gonna switch back. Let's assume that, units, man, we appreciate some donations will help so we can do more SwitchBlade and other stuff. But so let's switch suicides back on. Let's go right back to the same build that I had before, some variant, right? So let's go ahead and add glass cannon. Let's go ahead and add recoil. Let's go ahead and max liquid courage. I'm just taking some unit loss for team just to show you guys, and we're gonna get a final tally. Let's go ahead and add double edge.
I mean, we should take a look also before you keep going. You should take a look at some of your PI on your champs so that you can show like what a difference that makes. You know, going with like suicides as opposed to a different build.
We'll do that. So let me just go ahead and switch it back. Let's get the final thing, and I'll go switch it back again. I don't care.
Oh, we got contest champion in the house. Contest champion Brian Grant, and he's saying what's up to Dave and RoninNupe. It's nice to have him on the channel. We all love to go to each other's channels and give some support and just kind of encourage and stuff like that. And that's just kind of how we do in the YouTube family here. And occasionally I will go to Brian Grant's channel and make a very bad joke. Not occasionally. It's usually all the time. All the jokes are bad, but it's all good because that's the only thing that's bad. There's no bad blood. It's all good blood and bad jokes. So thanks for coming by, bro.
So I'm just showing you guys. I switched. I didn't switch back to the exact same thing. I'm gonna give you an example of something that I believe this is what I ran for my cable run that I got number 2 spot in Legend. I actually recorded that, about 90% of the content. Maybe we'll figure out how to show some of it. I plugged my device directly into, and I used QuickTime to record that Legend run. My time was 3:45, like 11. So 3 hours, 45 minutes, and 11 seconds to get number 2. I was sad because I know that I could have got number 1, but number 1, he's beast. Olo is my alliance. He's a beast mode. But just put it away, we were less than a minute away from time. So that stung. And the reason I only have 90 minutes of like 90% of the footage is because I unplugged my device from QuickTime and took a bathroom break and played one-handed. And just FYI, you don't play as fast playing one-handed doing a bathroom break. But there's no way I could have sat there like seating for 3.5, 4 hours without taking a breath. I gotta go. Like I drink a lot. I drink a lot of coffee. I drink a lot of water. I stay hydrated. I'm the guy. What's up? What's up, Pixel? I'm the guy in the movies that pisses you off because I'm getting up.
Give me a sec, YouTube guy. I mean, UPS.
Of the movie, and I'm stepping over you to go to the bathroom. I rarely don't go to the bathroom. That's why I don't actually like going to the movie theaters, man. I like being at home, pausing the movie, and all that stuff. So what kind of point totals are we at? So this is actually my cable run mastery setup. This is what I ran there. So does anybody got a total point run? How much it cost to switch that? I used a iPhone 7 Plus. So iPhone 7 Plus is what I play on all the time. Like I said, Dave is back.
I'm back.
Pixel
yeah,
back.
Pixel don't like the UPS guy.
So like I said, do we have a running total point? Well, how many units, or I keep saying points? How many units did I start with?
You were in the 15. You were at 1500 something.
No, but I started with like 16. Was it 1620? Does anybody got it? Can anybody? Okay.
Oh, there we go. 1542 to 1466. This is something we probably should have done, but this is why we like having subs on the channel to help us out with these things.
It was less than 200 points for me to switch and switch back, or 200 units. I keep saying points, God. So I think totally, was it less? Let's see, was it less than 150? I started with 1625. So 1625 minus, I'm at 1466 now. What is that? Somebody, I'm not gonna do public math. Somebody do it. Somebody, I'm gonna bust out the calculator. Yeah. What is the total? All right, 1625 minus 1466. What was that? Somebody, anybody. I'll answer your question if you give me the exact math. What is 1625 minus 1466.
All right, I will get that. You're gonna wait for a long time because there's like a 20-second delay between what people hear. All right, so what is it? 1625.
Yes, minus 1466. That's what I ended up.
159.
Oh, I lied to you. I'm sorry. For that setup, it was a little bit more than a featured crystal. So, but like you get the point, right?
Nice.
You get the point. Thanks, Chris. Appreciate it.
Chris
Man,
Addison.
appreciate that.
What do we got
huge,
here?
Man.
Dude, thanks for doing all you do and sharing your knowledge with the Marvel COC community. Yo, I've learned a lot from you. Which one of us? Is it yous? Just you? I think he's talking about you, bro, because even I learned...
No, he's talking about you people.
You people.
I learned a lot from you people. What do you mean, you people?
Oh, well, who is you people? Yeah. No, that's great. Chris Addison, thank you very much. That is very much appreciated. We always love the super chats here. We'll keep that on the docket. Did you have a question that you would like answered, Chris Addison?
Yeah. Super chat guys, man, we'll definitely get to there. You gotta understand, we are getting streamed with so much chat, so much things. It's it can be dizzying. But yeah, I mean, so that is the concept of SwitchBlade. And I did it for 159 units. I switched it on, I switched it off. Yeah, no, I turned off all my masteries to beat Jug 433. I said I'm gonna go in there old school now.
Yeah, no. You know what? I think I have to revisit Juggernaut 4.3.3 because, again, they've changed Juggernaut to a point that it's like, almost a full 3 seconds of unstoppable at the beginning of the match. So you've got to be able to parry through your stun time and then maybe get a second parry if you're fast enough. And if he happens to do a heavy attack, you just got to eat it. So, and then that's just units and revives and potions. So, I will revisit that and see what we can do. Ricky Pendarvis, what's going on, bro? Thank you very much. He just dropped in a super chat. And, I mean, you guys just drop in super chats. You don't have a question? Do you have questions to be answered? Or, I'll tell you what. If you want to do a super chat and you don't have a question, the super chatter can choose someone else's question and ask it for them. How about that? If you don't want to ask a question, this way you can pick someone's question and we'll answer it. So
super chat is only on, unfortunately, it's only on the, what is it called? It's only on the web version.
On the web version,
right?
Yeah, I don't think you can get to it on the mobile.
So, and it's only on the web version, and is this button here. So what I'm gonna do is, let me go here. I'm gonna switch screen. And can you guys see that, or is it gonna be all funny? Can you see this?
Yeah, I got you.
You see that screen?
Yeah.
It's that what I highlighted with green. That's how you super chat.
Oh, there you go. Well, no, I can't actually see yours. You've got to maybe scroll down a little bit. Art of Chaos just dropped one in. Thank you very much. Thanks, gentlemen. Appreciate the time you have put into this. I think we're going to have to do what we did on the other day, which was whenever someone drops a super chat, you read it with an accent, a different type of accent. What do you got, Ronin? What you got in your accent box?
All right, so super chat. I'm just making up a random accent. I don't even know.
Is that what that was? You got to, you got to read it.
I'll do it. Where is the? Oh man, my phone's ringing off the hook, man. That's a problem when you do this at the office. So did that screen share work, Dave, or did you not see the super chat button?
No, I don't see a super chat button on yours, no. But that's okay. That's okay. People are there. So we've got Matt Dragozitich. No, wait. I'm good at reading last names. Matt Dragozetic. Matt Dragozetic. Whatever. He wants to see your defense.
My defense?
Yeah.
Boom, there's my defense. This is the handle of SwitchBlade right there. Yeah. I mean, I use the same thing, man. I actually use Max salve just cause, I don't know, better PI. And I just keep Coagulate on. In answer, sometimes SwitchBlade, I will change the handle, and sometimes I'll just have one. If I know I'm not doing, sometimes I'll just have one. Like if I'm going to grind, I'll just have one in what is it called? Willpower. I use willpower, and here's one of the reasons why I use willpower. You do not. I think you only need willpower for you only need willpower for 2 reasons. This is my opinion. The 2 reasons you use willpower, ladies and gentlemen, you use willpower for if you're doing suicides and you don't want to bleed out and die. And the second reason is for my rule of thumb. If you are defending, thank you, Pitbull. If you are defending,
Robbie Lalawani dropped in a super chat. Thank you very much. And Pitbull and Andre Alexandru. Wow. Okay. All right. So finish that thought, and we'll get over to Andre.
Yes. So what I was saying is that if you use AW defenders and those champs are on nodes that give like 200 to 300% more health benefits, you should have at least 1 point in willpower, because it really makes those defenders more robust. So like I use Mordo, for example, as a mini boss. Let's go over to my champs, where I'm not a navigate here. And so it makes it harder to take those guys down. Think about every time you parry, they're healing up a bunch, especially when it's like 700% health or more, right? Willpower becomes annoying. Willpower is really more of an AW defense mastery, and it is also if you run suicide. All right, so you guys want to see some champs? Somebody else had a question. What was the question?
Yeah, we've got Andre. Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so Andre said, worth doing duped Black Panther to rank 4. I would totally do it. I wish I actually had my Black Panther over my Cyclops, to be honest. I like offensive champs, and I think Dave shows Black Panther wrecking. And so, especially with like deep wounds and stuff, I totally would. I think it's amazing. Yes. So these are some of the PIs with that jacked up. So that's Iron Fist, Cyclops, champs. I kind of ranked them in PI order.
What would you say is the increase in PI in terms of percentage based on that suicide mastery setup that you have?
Yeah, man, it's big, dude. You know what? I'm gonna just take the suicides back off. I don't care. I'm gonna wait. People have been gracious with some donations. I'll take them back off, and we'll actually see. So Iron Fist is at 9.8. What is it? 9.855. Cyclops is at 8.847. It makes a big difference. I mean, even if you look at my profile, right, how I view it with suicides on. Electro pops up there, man, and Electro is like dormant otherwise, Mordo's there, Cyclops there. Mordo's there because he's just thinking it's there. Best defense sides to cover suicide masteries, what I had, Robbie. So I personally, if you're going to stably run suicides, I would run this defense that I'm showing right here. This is what I would do. And so I'm gonna go ahead and switch it back, spin the units. You guys have been so gracious. I'm gonna take this is my cable run mastery setup. So you guys can look at that, and it's SwitchBlade. I'm gonna switch it back real quick. All right. And we're gonna answer some more questions.
Yeah, we've got a quick question, which was, let me see, where was that? Sorry, spamming a bit, just want to confirm Suture doesn't help with double edge. How do you feel about that?
No, Suture does help with double edge. It actually gives really good PI for 1 point. It's actually not bad, especially if you're really trying to minimize the damage. I know a couple people who run 2 Coagulate and 3 in Suture, and if you actually look at the damage, and there are instances where it actually reduces the damage in better cases. So. We have some sending for mobile. What rank 5s are? Oh, you can send it from mobile? You can do super chats from mobile now?
Yeah, well, I think that's on Android. I don't think it's allowed or it's available for iOS yet.
Yeah, because Apple is always trying to take your money. Apple is always trying to take your money.
All right, what rank 5s are good for Labyrinth of Legends?
The best,
Star-Lord's like on the top there, right?
Yeah, Star-Lord... Star-Lord is, I probably spent more units than I should have. I did it early. Star-Lord is probably the best. If you have Star-Lord is the best for a rank 4 5-star. Hands down, he's been proven to be the best. If you're going to go with R5s, right? Like 4 stars, rank 5s. What I've seen kind of taper out as the best is people tend to actually use Rocket Raccoon? Yeah, use him over Star-Lord, because the amount of speed, he generates more damage under like streaks under, maybe 150 or 200 or something like that. And the thing about Rocket is, so here, I'm gonna tell you, Iron Fist does not work well in Labyrinth of Legends, or LOL. It's LOL. It might as well be called laugh out loud, because it's kind of ridiculous. You're gonna spin units. Like it's a freaking joke. But yeah, Electra definitely. And I'm gonna get my energy back up, people. I need to get back into my fisty mode.
And I've heard Storm is actually a pretty solid option in Labyrinth of Legends as well.
Yep. Yeah, but the point is, you need to keep combos up. The reason Iron Fist sucks for LOL is any debuff you add to the opponent gives you minus 50% critical accuracy. So you sit there, and what happens is you're like, oh man, and you get one armor break, he has 20% chance, and then boom, he's hitting there and he's not doing any freaking damage, which is terrible. Rocket is great. He doesn't put any debuffs on people unless you hit him with the L2, which does so much damage anyway. And Rocket's got an amazing ability that people don't realize. He can get his ability accuracy over 100%. Kabam actually adds numbers. So for every let's go back. I'm just setting my masteries back for war. I switched it back, and we're going to look at the PI. I'm going to try to field and manage all of these disparate thoughts. But if we go back to my champs, and I'm going to get back to here, look, Iron Fist dropped 1,300 points for the PI.
Yeah,
boom.
That's quite a bit.
Look at that. Yeah, Cyclops went down almost 1,000. It's a big change. The PI goes down. And so, like I was saying, is the reason, and I'm going to answer this question. Fanny asked the question. Is that how you pronounce your name?
I would say Fanny. Maddie Patla.
All right. Fanny. All right, so we go back here, and so I was kind of just showing, where's my rocket? My rocket is actually not even, where's my, I got a filter on here. Tech, where's my rocket at?
Yeah. I think after this, we're going to take a look at maybe some of our favorite synergies and how that works with our masteries, our current setup.
Yeah, so you look at Rocket, he makes, for every 10 combos, he gets 44.5% max crit rate, and that goes actually over 100. So Rocket gets around dull. So basically, once Rocket gets like 20, he's always criticaling. Think about that. That's beast mode. And you're juiced up.
Is criticaling a word?
Criticaling. I'm criticaling a word. Criticaling is the art of hitting a critical hit. It's criticaling. Criticaling is a word. Tech collar.
That's right out of the Don King dictionary. I got my main fighter here criticaling.
All right, is Tech Collar worth it? Tech Collar does nothing to Mystic Dispersion. I don't know if it's broke or whatever. It does help the, I've maxed out and tested Tech Collar. It does work on general. So if you have Tech Collar max and you're fighting with a Tech champ, you'll actually get the same amount of power as the champ and sometimes exceed it, which is great, right? Normally, if you're fighting, right, Dave, your opponent will get the power faster than you.
Yeah.
Tech Collar helps balance that out. If you start fighting with it, and you have maxed, what is that called? I normally use, Petrify maxed. Then you'll actually, do better. So, but I'm lukewarm on Tech Collar, man. I'm the only ones I think, if you're gonna go special.
Just get a power gain team, dude. Get a power gain team, and you gain just as fast as they do as you hit them. So, I wouldn't worry much about that one.
So when I look, God tier of special, Mystic Dispersion is like here, like off the screen. Pure Skill is like here. It's darn good. Everything else is like here. You don't even see it. It's like on the floor. Like mutagenesis doesn't do nothing. Like, it is terrible. Mutagenesis is terrible.
It's
terrible,
like, it's like
terrible.
pittance. It's like pittance.
We're gonna start a mutagenesis fund, and we're gonna lobby for you. Everybody who wants to see mutagenesis change, donate. Because I want mutagenesis to be something like, yo, it should give like, you know, think about like what is it called? Like the X-Men, like mutants, right? They always talk about their emotions and like they don't know the extent of their powers and all that stuff, and they get more powerful. Mutagenesis should do something like that. Mutagenesis should be like based on your health or your enemy's health or something. The mutants don't understand the extent of their power when emotions are fueled. Give them like up to 200% more, you know, attack or something based on like how much they've been hit or how much the opponent's been hit or something. It needs to do something like bad, like awesome like that, man. Not shorter bleed. Come on, it needs to be something about the power of the mutants. I love mutants, man.
Well, you know, Colossus is just not even happy about that one. He's like,
no, that's how
he's like, I'm
man.
sorry,
like,
I don't bleed anyway. I don't. This one does nothing for me.
Magneto used to be like, Magneto is one of the best villains, like just his mind of all times, man. It's just like, come on, give mutagenesis something better, man. Make mutants great again.
Make mutants great again. Make mutants great again, and do it bigly.
All right, bigly, definitely bigly. All right, so
bigly.
What else we got? Dave, keep me on track, man. You know,
all right, so we've had a couple questions from people asking who is the guy next to you. And that is RoninNupe. I mean, literally, all you really have to do is just go and type RoninNupe in Google, and you'll get everything you need. He's literally the father and the grandfather of the mastery sheet that came out. I don't know how you're a father and a grandfather. It's probably something I don't want to know about, but doesn't matter.
If I'm a grandfather, I really don't want to know about that. RoninNupe. I'm changing my name to RoninNupe. RoninNupe. Don't nobody steal that handle because I'm gonna get that from my second account. RoninNupe.
That right there, that's a pickup line. What's your name? RoninNupe. That's a good one. I do like it. Go ahead and get that handle, man. All right, so okay, so we went through. You got your Mystic Dispersion. So let's switch over to the other screen for a moment. And wait. Actually, I need to. You guys are gonna watch me fight for a second, because I need my 1.5 mil. I literally am at 1.499999. So we'll do a quick fight.
See, I can't talk and fight. So like that, I gotta, you know, if I start talking and fight, I'm gonna mess up. So Dave is a master at that. I give props to all those people. People are like dissing all the YouTubers that like fight and like live stream and all that and slip up, man. But it's hard, man. Like it's hard to fight and talk. Yeah. Like, I can only do one thing at a time. So I'm gonna talk while Dave fights. I'm just gonna keep talking because I'm good at talking. That's man. I'm a legend of talking.
Yeah, man. You know what happens with the game is once you get the rhythm of the game, you kind of know like, you know, they're gonna attack, so here's my parry right there. You kind of play on autopilot after a while, and I use my peripheral vision a lot when I'm looking at the chat to see who's talking to me and who I can talk to while I'm fighting. Who is this Dorky Diggity Dave BC Discman asking that again?
That is Dave. Okay, so here's the thing. I'm gonna break it down. So Dave created Dork Lessons, and we're trying to get together and do more things, provide you guys great content to watch and learn. So Dave is an expert. He's that guy back in the day that was putting the quarters in and whooping your butt in Street Fighter, because he's like studying the screen animations and all that stuff. And so he studies things like, he taught me a bunch of stuff. He studies like all the like each character, when the best, like how to get extra combos in, and was telling me stuff. And so he is the studier of the fighter. I'm a strategy dude. Like I like numbers and stuff. So I went in there, looked at the masteries, and I'm like, how can I break stuff? I like breaking stuff, man. I used to play Magic the Gathering back in the day. I don't know if anybody, like I'm old school, remember that? I was the inventor of the Underworld Dreams deck that then I was playing at this conference, and the dude I beat his butt, one of the world champions, and he copied the deck, and then he won the championship with that. And so I'm looking at like, how can I break stuff? So when Masters came out, I was like, how can I break stuff? How can I like be better? And so I pay attention. I do spreadsheets sometimes. I'm trying to figure out like what's the best setup to do something. And so that's who I am. And Dave and I, we combine our superpowers here, and like want to make the community better and learn from each other and learn from you guys. And so somebody said, can you sing, talk, and play? No, I can only talk or play. Dave, can you sing, talk, and play? I don't know.
Can I sing, talk, and play? I don't know. Let me see. I definitely can't sing, talk, and play while fighting Nightcrawler and all that broken auto-evade stuff. That requires like a shutdown of everything in order to make that work.
I'm going to answer questions while you fight. Hello to me. What do you think Magic 5-star R4? I think that's awesome. I think she is amazing on attack and defense. Somebody stole my units. Steal, let's just say gifted unlawfully. I'll leave it at that.
That's a rough story, man.
Spreadsheet. Yeah, no, I don't want to go there. Let's spread this. Yeah, I'm a spreadsheet head. I'm in a group. Talk to some of the other spreadsheet heads, man. I'm trying to break down the number. Like, Kabam will release some stuff. I'm trying to figure out, like, 25% don't mean 25%, 8% don't mean 8%. Kabam's numbers are like...
My Creative Cinema just dropped in a super chat, but without anything. Do you have a question, My Creative Cinema? Or do you have? If you don't have a question, pick someone else's question and ask it for them on your behalf, and we will answer it.
I don't overclock my phone. Limber Max could be a pain for war. I think it's pretty awesome, especially with some of the people that speeds stuff up. But it also it's a double-edged sword. It can actually help Thor out. If they're running Thor with some stuff, he could actually get a lot more armor breaks.
Okay, so we've got Limber should be maxed or not for AW defense. I think that's
it's very powerful for the wrong people, but it's a double-edged sword. I think overall it's better maxed and not like, oh man, I want to do, like, if you were thinking about it, probably I'll do that one. We'll do that later. Dave and I will come up with the worst, most pain in the butt AW defense mastery setup. It's not going to be part of SwitchBlade, but it's like, what can we do to make the most
to hurt
annoying
you the most
defender? Yes. And so R4 5-star Iron Fist versus Spider-Man. Iron Fist, I believe, is faster. Although I do think if I had an R4 Spider-Man, that Spider-Man might have been faster for this last one because all the guys were Mystic. But the problem is you want an R4 unduped Spider-Man is better for speed questing. But duped is better for
defense.
Duped is obviously better for defense, right? I would never put Iron Fist on defense. I mean, come on, man. Come on, man.
Yeah, we ain't doing that.
How did I get 4-star dupes? I opened crystals, man. Probably spent more money than I should have.
Oh, man, the money.
Yeah, man. Let's not even talk about that.
That is the thing. I'll tell you what, man. Brian from Contest Champion spends no money in the game. And he's got a pretty stacked roster, man. He just grinds and grinds, spends not even a penny on the game. And if I remember him saying correctly, if they offered him a Dr. Voodoo duped for 1 penny, he still would not. Out of pure principle.
Yeah, I spend, like, I don't spend that much now anymore. I spent way too much the prior gifting event. You know, it's like there's like that little thing. Sometimes it's like, oh, it's only $5 here. Before no 5 turns to 10, turns to 20, turns to your mortgage. No, I'm not gonna do that, man. No, I'm doing good. How much does recoil? Recoil is terrible for war. Experienced players will just let your characters kill themselves.
Yep.
What other questions we got, man? Let's keep them going. I'm in a question answering mood.
All right, hey guys, keep them coming.
Shout out to Chris Grant.
Chris Grant. Any relation to Brian Grant on that one? All right, so here's what I'm going to spin through these comments here, and I'm going to pick a random question, and that random question is from Jonathan Sorp. Which champs did you use for your legend run?
Oh, for
do you want to show that build? Go for it.
Oh, for what? For my speed quest?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll just do that. Where is that? Can you gotta switch it back to me.
Yeah, I got you.
Is it back to me?
Yeah, you're on.
Let me just. I probably still want it. Yeah, that's the team I use right there.
Seth McBean said this game is worse than the strip club.
It is, man. You be dropping dollars. You like what? Boom, boom. Before you be dropping 20s, man. You know how like you drop 20s at the club and then they're like, you know, give you a 3-minute dance.
or a shard of the dance.
Yes, exactly. You know.
Oh man. All right, so so there's the team. If you want to run through your synergies, why you chose that team.
So this, I mean, Mutant Crit Team is like one of the base teams. Like I did that spreadsheet before. Mutant Crit Team just does so much. I mean, this is so annoying. Just look at how much stuff is lit up, man. You get all these criticals and critical damage. One thing to notice people do is like, I noticed like Seaton ran what did he run? He ran like Jug. Seaton ran for one part. I'll actually put that team together real quick. This is important. This is an important lesson, people, is that it's not all about
my mug is in the way. Let me
critical.
Let me move my face.
Yeah, you move your face, man.
Yeah,
move your face.
Move your face.
Move your face.
With my fist.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, please move the face, man. Yo, Dave, get your face out my face. So what does Seaton use, man? He used like Jug. I'm gonna show another. This is a crit team, but it only gives you what is it? Colossus. This is the problem. This is another reason why I don't like switching teams in legend runs, because you got to learn how to practice switching the team, because that will waste time. I'm telling you, the difference between the number 1 slot and the number 2 slot was like a minute or less. I mean, you waste time, you know, toying around with this. So, yeah, this is a team that, like, I think Seaton used this team to beat like Dormammu and all the heroic. So it gives you like a bunch of critical hits, which is amazing for Scarlet Witch. And so there's 5. So 7 times 5, that's plus 35% crit chance. And so you think about that, right? But Scarlet Witch already has a base of crit chance of 24. So 24 plus 35 is 59, right?
Yep.
Is that right?
Yep.
59. But she also quickly, when she criticals, she also quickly gets, abilities to crit more herself, and her specials automatically crit. So the problem with this team I see is, yeah, you get more chance, but you don't want to trade chance off for damage, right? Because the critical, damage matters too for speed. And so one of my favorite, earlier legend runs before I had R4 Iron Fist, I actually ran this team. Let me show you a team. This is a pretty actual solid team here that I'm going to show you. This is a very solid team here for legend runs if you want top 100, not if you want top 5. It's a variant of it. It just took one jug out. I should have actually did that. I'm exposing all the secrets. People are going to get mad. I don't care. This legend run was only a 36-minute difference. No, was it 36? 20? It was only a 36-minute difference from number 1 to number 100. Isn't that crazy? 36-minute difference. Like, that's how tight it is. So you got to shave time, everything. So this is if you want to do this is another solid legend run team if you're not using an R4 5-star. So it gives you Witch and Thor. And Thor is amazing for killing certain bosses that are aggressive. You know what I'm talking about? And so this one, it doesn't give you as many crit things. So it's got 1, 2, 3. It's got 4, so that's still 28% crit chance, right? But it's also got a crit damage. Was there 2 crit damages? Who else had a crit damage? I think it might be 2 crit damages. No. Did Thor? No, it's 1 crit. So it gives you 28% crit chance and 25% crit damage. But the key, this is a banging thing, if you don't have an R4 and you got these champs, and especially if like Thor's maxed or and Scarlet Witch is maxed, this is a great team because this team gives you the versatility. You get the stun lock of Witch, you get the speed of Thor. If you get in some weird instances, like the game Netmarble/Kabam tries to mix stuff up, you have a bleed immune and you have a poison immune character. So this is a very, very solid team. The typical teams that people tend to run are just what they do are mutant crit teams, which is just so solid because what you do is you throw Mag, you throw Wolverine, Storm, and Klops, right? And this seems to produce some of the best damage for trade-offs. And so I really like that, but I basically use this team.
When you're talking about trade-offs, like what do you mean by trade-offs? Because, a lot of people will build a team, and just stack on crits and crits only. So what he's getting at here is, maybe you might want to give up a crit, maybe a 7% crit in order to gain either, armor or power gain or, other things. So what are the trade-offs and how do you create the best all-around team is what we're talking about here.
You got to balance it. That's why I test stuff, man. It's like, so here's the thing. So let me show you something about Iron Fist. This is the team I ran, I told you, except I actually was only using my 3-star Cyclops, which is fine. There's some trade-offs. So for example, my 5-star Cyclops is R4. And the problem is if I'm doing speed quests, sometimes he takes precedence and then I got to spend a second switching and that adds up over time against all those things. So actually sometimes it's better trade-off. Trade-off is always about trade-off, always about decision. So you were asking me trade-offs of what, Dave? What was the question? Trade-offs about
just trade-offs, just trade-offs in general. Like what do you trade and why do you trade? And, we hear so much about, here's a bleed team or here's a crit team or here's this and here's that. And, it's not so much about any one particular detail about the character. Like, it's not just like, hey, well, we're just going to add more armor break because this guy armor breaks. Yes. You know what I mean? Like, you have to really read what that character does and what's the best way to go about it. And so that's where all of this testing and setup comes from.
So let me explain real quick. So the key things you got to understand is at the end, you're looking for a single goal. What's your goal? I want to go the fastest. And the fastest is not always about critically the most. It's about the average damage. Yeah, that's a word, man. It's about the average damage per hit, right? You want to do more damage on average per hit, and that necessarily isn't always about increasing your critical rate chance. Sometimes about increasing your damage, and it's also that you sometimes need specific champs for specific things, right? Like every time you die in a speed quest, you're losing about 30 seconds, right? And you saw there's a 35-minute difference. Every time you die, every time you get hit, per hit is about half a second, right? Every time, these things all add up over time. Your load time matters. So you want, the best device I found is iPhone 7 Plus, right? It seems to be the fastest. That stuff matters. But then even look at this Iron Fist base attribute. Iron Fist has a 28% critical chance, right? That's already ridiculously high. That's over 1 in 4 hits. He also has an 8% chance to boost his critical rate for 33% for 6 seconds, 8%, like any hit. And he boosts it pretty often. So if you add 28 plus 33, you're already talking about, what is that, 61% if he boosts. Right? And then you're having a critical rate team, he can easily get over 100. Sometimes you can get over 100 and then you lose points. So sometimes it's better to actually increase the critical damage. You don't always, you're trying to balance it out, right? Is it better, the question is it better for me to punch you always critical for 1,000 point, 1,000 hits each time? Or is it better if I get, 3 out of 4 hits, but those 3 hits are 2,000 each? You know what I'm saying? You gotta, I'm just throwing out random numbers, but the point is, on average, I'd rather fucking hit you hard.
No!
Yeah. I said duck.
Yeah. All right, so with that, Yeet is in the house. What's going on, Yeet? Thanks for coming by the channel. We got a couple super chats in here. Michael Alagood, what is going on, dude? Thank you so much for that super chat. And we had another one from King Scatliff. Thank you very much for that donation. That's very nice. Now, do you guys have a question, either you two that dropped off a super chat? Let us know, and we will answer that for you. Anyway, so go ahead and continue, finish explaining about your Iron Fist, or were you done?
No, I was just saying, the point I was saying is, excuse me. The point I'm saying is that it's about the total damage over time, right? And you got a critical, but you want a critical for more damage, right? You want, right? Out of 10 hits, you want the most damage. Like, that's just giving you an example of that, right? Even at 100%, yeah. I mean, you won't notice the difference between 100% critical chance and 95. I mean, you know?
Yeah, no problem. Umut, I think is your name. Umut Akar. I did see your question. I'm just trying to field them all out. He's saying Super Chat's not available in his region, but that's okay. Like, Super Chat is not required for us to answer your question, but if you do want to help us out and help support the channel, if you Super Chat it, we will get right to it, no problem, but it is not required for us to answer your question. So, Umut, he asked, could we show him the best mastery setup for people that only have about 45 or level 45 as opposed to like a full level 60? Like, how would you set that up? And I think that's just using the basics, you know, like the very base, you know, the base setup, the base build. And, you know, later on, as you get more points, you know, that's when you start opening up like the Despair and the Deep Wounds and the Assassins and, you know, the Suicide Masteries. But for now, make sure you're maxing out as much damage as you can with that Cruelty and Precision in terms of your damage. And make sure you have your parry and your dexterity, you know, filled out, because those are the essentials of the game. That's what you need in order to play well. And from there, use a lot of your experience increases, like the 40 and 50%, and, you know, save up your units and buy a bunch of energy refills and play through the acts and gain your experience, because that's how you're going to get more mastery points. You have anything to add to that?
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. And if you're, I agree 100%. And there's a few other things. I mean, if you're running no defense or a 6-point defense, you can actually invest more points in pure skill or the lesser precision and lesser cruelty, which is actually not bad. I mean, still, lesser cruelty max gives you another 10%. Excuse me, lesser precision gives you another 8%. It matters. I mean, it can help the difference between those things.
Absolutely.
Like I said, I play in pretty high level tier wars and some other stuff, and because I use Switchblade, I keep willpower on. It's a trade-off. Let's see, any other questions?
Michael Alagood sent another super chat. Thank you very much. Contest champion, yes, totally agree. Crit damage totally underrated for some reason, and that I'll tell you why that is, because people don't fully understand the difference between crit rate and crit damage, and they also don't read what their characters do. You have to read what your character does. This game is a lot deeper than you realize. Not anybody in particular, but the game is very, very, very deep. So, for instance, if you are playing with Electro, who has like a built-in high crit rate already, there's really no reason to add more crit rate to him. You want to take advantage of that crit rate and add crit damage. So every time he does crit, he's doing a maximum amount of damage. Another example would be Thor Jane Foster. People don't really like her all that much, but she's pretty beast. While someone is stunned, she has guaranteed crit rate for the duration of the stun, and also has 20% chance while they're under taking electric damage or shock damage to put them into a stun for 2.5 seconds. So what do you think I'll be looking for in terms of synergy? Do you think I'd be looking for more crit rate on someone who's guaranteed crits while someone is stunned? Or am I going to go for crit damage and increase the amount of damage that we're doing? So that is just one example of why you really need to read your characters, read those synergies, and pay attention, because that is how myself and RoninNupe, this is how we build these teams. This is how we test. Yep. So I'm
gonna answer a question too.
Yeah, go for it.
It's a good question regarding Thor. So I thought it was a good question by Iman. Yeah, if you are a major Thor player, I found the best balance is to put Stupefy at 2. And Parry doesn't really, here's the thing, this is a mystery. Parry doesn't really modify the stun time for most characters. Maxing Parry just reduces the damage because it increases the length of the stun only a little bit for characters that have high perfect block. And so I've recorded videos and looked and studied it. It doesn't do that for most characters. It doesn't matter. Like, that's the mystery behind it. It's one of the weirdest worded masteries and strangest things. And so, maxing Parry for Thor doesn't just helps him take less damage, but Stupefy at 2 is the nice number, because if you do less, if you go into war, or even if you're in arena and you have no Stupefy, people with max limber, you're not going to be able to respond with most of your characters. You're going to be comboed into oblivion.
Yes, right? Comboed into oblivion with my fist.
Exactly. So you don't want to. You want to be careful with that. So 2 is a nice sweet spot that I found. Just personally, DMV shout out. I saw that out. I'm just kind of scrolling through a few things because I wanted to earmark that question. What time? Last time, I think 4:20 was the cutoff for Legend, 4 hours and 20 minutes. The spread was only 35 minutes, 36 minutes this time from number 1 and number 100. That's crazy. I just popped up another team that I think is a solid team. That's a sleeper team here. If you want to run rich, this is another good team. Yo, you actually might want to consider this team if anybody still is going to make the Legend run. This is actually, and you have a rank 5 witch, this is actually a very, very good sleeper team, because this team gives you, because people don't know about the Secret Falcon, this team gives you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 crit chances, right? Now, the ones with the 3-star Falcon are only 5, so it gives you 7, or are they 5 or 6%? I'm trying to remember these, but I'm going to explain this because I think this is kind of off. They're 6%, so it's only less. So 21 plus 12, 33% crit chance. But people don't realize Falcon has got this amazing ability called Recon. And what this ability is doing, and these are some of the secrets. This is why I look at all the numbers. He basically gets an additional 9% physical resistance penetration and critical damage, right, for each synergy. So I've got 2 here, so he's getting another 18% critical damage and 18% physical damage reduction. But not just Falcon, everybody on the team. So Witch is actually pounding through physical resistance better. And that's 18%, but then you got the 3-star rock in here for another, another 18% plus another, what's his recon, his ability? It's a little less. 18 plus another 14.
7.
Huh? Yeah, but you got 2 synergies active, so it's 14. So 18 plus 14 is 32. So that's a little sleeper. You're getting 33% critical chance, you're getting 32% critical damage, and you're getting 32% physical reduction. So that's a sleeper team. This team to me is better than the Jug team, and because you're going through armor. And I like this team too because it's got a couple of other nice things. You got Vision, who can power drain and has both both resistant but can't bleed, can't be poisoned in case you get in some weird. This last quest doesn't really have any issues with that, but it's just a really good team. And you've got Black Widow, who's just a beast for a lot of times. I'm not a big Falcon fan in general, but he's not bad too. So
all right, I'm gonna answer one question because otherwise I think it's gonna explode in the chat. No, I don't know when your birthday is, Ruab, and Ronin probably won't be on the next chat, but he will be on a future stream. So we're gonna try to go ahead and standardize that a little bit. I'm gonna switch over to my screen, just show you some of my favorite teams here. And this is
Assassin. I like Assassin. I just answered a quick question there. I like Assassin.
Yeah, go for it.
Assassin. So Assassin is weird. It's really good. Assassin is actually really good for speed quests. If you think about it, right? 18% not always, but if you can reduce a hit on average per fight, and you have to do like 500 fights. That's 500 seconds, or a little bit like around that. That's a matter in time. It's also really good for, any basically guys that have, 60,000 or more health. So it's good for boss fights. And people are like, I'm not a boss fighter, but I encourage everybody needs to learn how to be a boss fighter, man. If you want to get better, fight some bosses.
Fight some bosses. Or do the ninja, or do the ninja series. Go into the playlist, go into the Dork Lessons training, and there's something. If by the end of that training you are not a boss killer, then I have not done my job. And I find it funny. It's completely random, but it says accept Dork Lessons right below. Right below the screen. Anyway, that is completely useless information. Okay, so here's one of my favorite teams that I'm currently using. If you guys can't tell, Doc Voodoo has been one of my favorite characters over the last 3 weeks, and I'm just gonna show you something. Whenever you place a character in for a quest, the first thing people do is they click on their synergies just to see what they have, right? And in here, they think that, hey, whatever's in here is what I have to use for this particular character. And I don't always agree with that. There's some good stuff in here, but not always. So he's got some, 6% armor, 7% crit rate if I choose Guillotine, and, 5% perfect block if I have Rogue, and some crit damage if I choose Doc Strange. Now, that's all well and good. But once you start using this particular character, his L1 and his L2 are insane. And the more I use that, I was like, you know what? I think I want to get as much of that special ability as I possibly can. Because one, he's stacking like loads of Spirit Venom on on his opponent. And his L2 is a power drainer in 2 ways. Either it drains over time or it drains with every hit. And adding, damage, power burn damage on top of that. So my thought immediately was, okay, I need a power gain team because I need to be able to get to those powers as soon as possible. And one of my favorite power gain teams is with Scarlet Witch. Not only is she amazing on her own, that adds someone else to my team just in case Doc Voodoo doesn't survive. From there, you've got her synergy has these 2 power gains. So I've got one here with the Winter Soldier, and I've got another one here with the with Hawkeye, which I don't like using my 5-star. I like using my 4-star because he's duped, but whatever. And to finish this off, I'm going to grab a 3-star Scarlet Witch.
See, that's lessons. People don't think about that. Using a lot of people don't realize using multiple champs is valuable. Like I did that with the double Falcon. I wish I had a 5-star Falcon, but yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of cool synergy abusive teams that use a double of a character.
Absolutely. So, and here I've got 4% power gain, 4% power gain, so that's 8. And over here I've got 5 and 5, so that is 18% power gain on Doc Voodoo, who already is at Mystic Dispersion level 3, which really should be level 4. So he's coming
up. Level 5, man.
It will. I'm gonna get there. I want to grind those units. I don't want to buy them. I want to grind the units and do it right. I want to. What is it? No.
You want slow and steady.
Yeah, I want to. Yeah, slow, man. I gotta do slow jam, dog. You can't.
You don't want to just blow all those units
jump in there and get it all fast and stuff. Yeah, man. That's so. Just to show you how it works, we'll just run up the middle real quick here. And you guys have seen this a million times, and I'm actually going to put up the Maestro video right after this stream. But if you look at what he's got here, he's got 80% physical resistance. So his physical attacks aren't going to do much. Me upgrading his critical damage with Guillotine and with Doc Strange upgrading his critical damage. So his rate and damage going up really has no effect on a physical resistant Hulk. So, and I actually can't really poison him either.
Scarlett Johansson, yes, I agree.
Yes, but that power burn.
Scarlet Witch, and you meant Black Widow, but yeah, it's Scarlet.
Oh, they're all Scarlet. They're all Scarlet.
I don't even think, I'm so spoiled with Scarlett Johansson. I don't think they can ever have another Black Widow. I would be just disappointed.
No.
Disappointed.
So look at this, dude. I'm basically gaining power at the same rate he is with this team. And so here I'm going to, nope, that didn't work. I gotta, well, no, it doesn't matter. They don't do L3s on this level.
I want Doc Voodoo, man. Let me hear Doc Voodoo. Yeah, this game would be so amazing if there was ability somehow to trade or something. That's my, to be honest, that is my biggest, it's frustrating because sometimes you want like a champ or a catalyst or something and you just
wish you could trade with someone else?
Everything is random, man. Like this game is like random of random. Like everything, man. They got like, there's nothing.
Oh, I got smacked.
Like can't control anything. Like that. I mean, you know, just everything is so random. That's why it's so frustrating sometimes.
All right, so I'm going to quit that fight real quick, and I'm going to show you one other of my favorites. So that's one of my favorite setups. That is a power gain setup. That's 18% power gain. One of my other favorites is, as you saw, the my bleed team, which has Falcon in it, by the way. So I'm going to end the quest. I'm going to go back in. I'm going to show you that same fight and the power of the bleed on a physical resistant Hulk, which is absolutely insane. So that is a 4-star, rank 4 Black Panther, which, dude, I so wish I could bring him up, or at least get a 5-star or something.
Yeah, people don't. Omar was asking why no loyalty points for Mystic Dispersion. I think everybody is saving for the mystical, you know, Unstoppable Colossus 5-star, man. That's like, I think that's one of the biggest mojo tricks in there. It's like, all right, you need your loyalty for Alliance Quest, but if you want to be able to save up your loyalty, you basically need to use units to pay for your Alliance Quest.
Yeah, man. Loyalty. I mean, I'm right about there. I'm at 830,000. I'm about to.
Same here.
I'm about to drop that thing, man. I just need a little bit more to be comfortable.
I'm not dropping my 800 something. I spent some earlier too, yeah, and then I wish I didn't, but I'm gonna save up. I don't think I'm gonna buy him unduped right now. I think I'll just wait. Maybe you'll go on sale.
Yeah, no, it ain't going on sale.
That was mad with the whole community. Unstoppable 5-star Colossus on sale, 25%
off. Man, I asked them if they had layaway. I was like, I'm almost there. Do you guys have layaway? Do you have layaway? Okay.
Answer. How annoyed would you be? How annoyed would you be?
Oh, that's awesome. I love it. All right, so this is my other favorite team. What's happening here is, notice, the only guy that doesn't have any of his synergies lit up is my main guy. So here again, I'm not using people that I can, you know, like power gain and crit damage. I don't need that. What I need is bleed. So if you read about what Black Panther can do, you can see that he lacerates based on critical attacks. Critical hits lacerate opponents with 70% chance to inflict bleed. So what do I need? I need critical damage. I mean, critical rate. I need more critical rate. I need to be able to crit more often so I have more chances to bleed. Now, with that information, now I can go and say, all right, I've got a double crit team right here. So that's 7 and 7. All right. And I have my my War Machine here, who also gains a crit from Black Panther. And I have another Falcon here. That's a 6 and 6. So that's a pretty nasty combo. What is that? That's 7 and 7, 14 and 12. So that's 26% plus 7 is 33. That's 33% increased crit. And over here I have a skill domination. This is the pièce de résistance in the house because this adds 25% bleed damage to every stack of bleed, while I have Deep Wounds active, which is adding an extra 2.5 seconds to every bleed instance. So these guys are just literally bleeding out all over the place.
Translation, because you spent a lot of numbers. Translation, you're going to bleed longer and a lot more damage.
Yeah.
That's the long and short of it. You're like, you're going to plus 26, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey,
and you're going to have 2.5 more seconds, and that's going to be 5 ticks more of damage. And then
you got jokes, man. You got jokes.
I got jokes, man. I'm trying to spice it up, man. I'm like, I'm over here. Yo, I'm over here, man. I'm at my desk. I'm actually cycling right now. You
Nice.
see my legs? I'm cycling. I got this little under the desk.
Oh, you got the under the desk cycle? I like the under the desk cycle, man.
It's like an under the desk. This thing is kind of cool. It's like an under the desk elliptical, so I can like, exercise and work at the same time.
Nice. All right, so peep the damage. Look at the bleed stacks that I have here. I've got a whole bunch of bleed stacks. I've got up to 8 here. I mean, just look at how he's going. Like, I don't even need to finish him off. I can just stay back, and he's done. Yeah. Literally.
That's gross. That's gross. Yeah, favorite champs. Yeah, that's a favorite champ. That's a good one. What's your favorite champ, Dave? Or what's your favorite top 3? Just favorite, not necessarily the best. What are your favorites?
So far my favorites are Black Panther, of course. I'm not gonna go with Scarlet Witch because that's like a default. So that's almost like watching Wheel of Fortune and you just kind of get RSTLNE. Like those are just your defaults. That's Scarlet Witch for me.
Scarlet Witch actually will make you lazy.
Yeah, man. It takes no skill to play her. So my favorite's Doc Voodoo for sure. And it's not like he's God tier, but you have to know how to work him. Like he has combos based on even and odd combos. When do you do your specials? So there's a lot more strategy behind it. And of course, I like Wolverine and Crossbones. Those are my tops at the moment right now.
Okay, so I like to play fast and get back to real life. That's what I like. And I also just like simple characters. I don't like when the characters. That's my biggest frustration is like when all the characters have that you need a dictionary and all this other stuff to try to figure out what these characters are doing, because they're like add 3 tokens here and put 2 tokens there and then move 3 tokens and then the 2 tokens convert into another token that then your head blows up and you're like, all these new chips like, they're like, no, this song is so dope for this character.
Yeah,
like seriously, if you look at all of the new characters, right? Like they seem so good on paper, but you can't really figure them out. And if you go back, my only opinion is if you go back a couple of months, the best new character, in my opinion, is Dr. Voodoo. Like it's like every new character gets some hype and then they fade into existence. Who's using Loki? Who's using really Rogue? The Prestige, Hyperion, and certain power gains and all these other things.
But nobody was talking about Doc Voodoo, man. Voodoo he got slept on, man. I got him and I was like,
didn't have time to go from. I tried to bust some crystals, I couldn't get him, but I always give any Mystic the benefit of the doubt because of Mystic dispersion.
Yep.
But like even if you look at like Hood, right? Like Hood, like he looks so cool, but I'm gonna have a prediction. I could be wrong. I think Hood is gonna fade back out, just like I think Hood is like a step down from Guillotine. Like he doesn't hit as hard. Like I wish you had a Hood to show, Dave. He doesn't hit as hard. Like on average, Dr. Voodoo will beat somebody better. Guillotine just criticals like ridiculous.
Or Cable. I think Hood is a little bit like Cable. Like he's really good in the quest as a boss. But then after that, like I've tried like 8 different synergies with Cable just to see how I can make him good, and I just can't. I can't make him good. It's like trying to talk to people about Batman v Superman. Be like, it's a good movie because they put the. Did you see the fight scene?
Yeah. Well, so here's why. Like, so I think about like Hood. Like it's a double. So he staggers like all the time, which is interesting. But it was like, remember when Resonate came out? Everybody, Resonate, man, and the people was like, dang, man, it just like keeps triggering willpower. This is and so like Stagger is not one that stacks. And so my problem with him is how useful is he going to be in AW offense against when you hit mini bosses and stuff? I don't know. I see him as just like constantly giving them an extra willpower heal. I'm iffy on him. He just doesn't. He looks so cool. I want to like him, but they should have made those stagger stack, and they should have made. If they made him stack and not replace, he could have siphoned. I would even have been happy because he has a siphon at the end, but every time you replace it, you never siphon, you never get the health back.
Or at least stack it by 2, so you have 2.
And then he siphons. That would be like awesome. He would be an awesome character. I mean, you know, I don't know. Time will tell. Like, I don't drink the Kool-Aid hype or any new character because they do it. Yeah, Gwenpool, man. Gwenpool is actually
Gwenpool's,
pretty.
yeah, she's a little nasty.
Because she's a bleeder. Like, you know, Gwenpool is a big bleeder, but like, I guess the question is does Gwenpool bleed better? I haven't really played around. I don't have her.
Okay, I'm going to just put this out there. Gabby's only saying that because she got her little rank 4, 5-star, you know, Gwenpool that she likes to prance around and try to beat the YouTubers with. She did beat me. She did beat me. I fought her, and it was a little nasty. So I'm going to put that out there. But I can almost see, I think she has a little snark in there. She's like, Gwenpool is definitely one of the better new champs.
Even the picture has snark in it. I love it. Like, you look at the little thing, the picture has snark in it. You're like, what?
Yeah, what? This is actually this ain't Captain America on my shirt. This is actually Gwenpool. That's just how nasty she is. She just took his shield. That's her shield now.
Yeah. What? Somebody said Seaton's in the house.
Seaton's in the house. Hey, what's going on, Seaton? Welcome to the channel, bro.
How are you doing, Seaton? Seaton's in my alliance, man. We were chatting the other day, man. Seaton's about to be the next legend. I'm excited. I want to get these results out, man. I don't know. These legend things, man. I'm getting tired. I'm getting a little. I want them to bring back some more of the other interesting legend kind of quest stuff. The speed ones are getting kind of tiring.
Yeah.
Everybody's catching on of like what to do. You know, I'm up to. So I think I've won. Yeah, I'm on that. I got that last one was my number 7. I mean, once you understand the formula, maybe we'll do that. Like maybe we'll do. I recorded my last thing. Maybe we'll do a legend helping. But the challenge is right now. The more we tell the secrets of the legends, the harder they're going to get to do. It's because you're 100 people competing for speed, and it's man, it was 36 minutes from number 1 to number. On the early days, the span was like an hour and 30 minutes. Seriously, like people were just like, now it's 344 to 420. That's 36 minutes.
Yep. I'm going to add something in here real quick. Hold on a sec.
ISO 8, fam. Yes, indeed. Gotta give a shout out.
I need to get in a little something in here that I call. Hold on. Just let me switch my scene real quick, and I'll call it in. All right, so we got some KO confetti in the house, but that's not what we're going for right now. We are going for. Roll call!
I want a Gwenpool, man. I keep everybody talking about Gwenpool.
All right, so we got the roll call in the house. Check this out, RoninNupe. Roll call is when you guys say where you are, where you live, where you're from, and what time is it. Go ahead and sound off. Show RoninNupe and show the rest of the channel how international this group is. Go ahead and sound off now in the chat. Let us know.
Oh, roll call. That's awesome. I'm in DC, by the way. It's lunchtime. I'm hungry.
yeah, it is. Yeah, we're gonna have to close this up a little bit after, just because I'm hungry too.
Yeah.
I might as well just keep going on with this. All right, so check this out.
Yeah.
We got.
Yeah.
Glendale, California. Oh, they haven't started running it. Okay, here they're gonna start flooding in just a moment. There we go.
Oh, I see India. India's in the house. London, Orlando. Maryland, local. That's right, DMV.
There it is.
Wow,
there it goes. Look at it.
I love it, man. This is awesome. Oh, this is pretty awesome. That's awesome. Everybody around the world, around there, man. I hope we were useful today. Were we useful?
I hope so.
I hope we were useful, man.
Usually I call these out. I'm going to put this up on the screen for a sec. Hold on a minute. I'm just going to call some of these out.
Singapore. I used to live in Singapore for a year, man. Oh, man. I used to love kicking it there in Clark Key. Singapore. Brings back memories.
There we go. We got Glendale, Arizona, Glendale, California, Georgia, India, New York City, London, Orlando, Maryland, Chicago, India, Compton in the house. Kruševac, Serbia in the house. Detroit, Michigan. South Carolina, Grand Rapids, Singapore, Toronto, Canada, Los Angeles, Australia, London, Scottsdale, Toronto, Greenville, USA, New Brunswick, Canada, Wow, this is a lot. I've never tried this with this many people before. Missouri, Maine, Trinidad. We got the Trinidad Paneaus. Yes.
Trinidad, I'm going to Carnival.
Trini, yes, yes. Switzerland, Santa Clarita, California, Australia, Jacksonville, Florida, Malaysia, Bronx, New York, Raleigh, North Carolina, Houston, Texas, Surrey, England. Oh, yeah, we got England in the house. Of course, we've got to have that. Yes, across the pond. I love it. London, Tulsa, Oklahoma, Singapore, 10 a.m. in Montana. Nice. New York, Jacksonville, Bismarck. I like saying Bismarcky. Say he's just a friend, but Bismarck works. Tulsa, Washington, D.C. Connor from Ireland. What's up, bro? Ecuador, Malaysia, Tacoma. Someone's from ZZZ. Should probably wake up soon because the chat is going on.
I saw Long Beach, man. I just think of Snoop Dogg.
Yeah, man. There's a lot here. Voice is getting tired. New York City is here. Long Beach. You saw Long Beach in there. Let me see. Cuba. Oh, yeah, we do have Cuba. Trinidad, Tobago. Got that. Sac Passe, Port St. Lucie. All right, we got him. Alex Laurent. England, Alaska. Wow, there's a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
So this is awesome. Before we do conclude too, because we're probably gonna wrap up soon. One thing we want to do is, I don't know the way you collect feedback, Dave, is we want to try to produce better content for you. Like, we take our time out, our energy out, and we really thank you guys for showing up. And it's really about, what you find valuable. We're just we're learning about like, how do we answer questions, how do we deliver it, and we want to try to do this semi-regularly, like, right? Is that what you said? Semi-regularly?
Semi consistent. I forgot what the word was.
Yeah, and I find the co-host, like, think about it. I don't know, I think you, Dave, but you can answer me. I find this kind of co-hosting thing kind of cool because doing it, managing it all on yourself, you allow, we can field different questions, we can get thoughts and stuff like that. Why you think a lot of times the shows have the co-host, but yeah, we want to provide value to you. But if there's a way that you can, maybe with the comments or something on Dave's channel, leave feedback of how, not only how much you enjoyed it, but like legitimate thoughts on how we can improve, or what
you'd like to see, or what do you want to see next.
Yeah, what you want to see. I'm talking about, make sure that you like this, make sure you subscribe. Also, Dave puts way more content, but also subscribe to my channel. It's just RoninNupe too. I can't consistently put stuff up there, but like I'm gonna try to keep some interesting content here and there or whatever. And
with my fist.
Everybody was crying. Yeah, I had a story about that, man. That was my legend run. That was my 7-door. I recorded my legend run using Reflector. I think it slowed down that legend run because it wasn't as fast. Still got under 4 hours. I'm not revealing my time yet until after some of the results came out. But I cut out the Dormammu fights, and I was thinking about that. And, I was having a little fun. I'll leave it at that. And then I was so into the videos. I was like, look at this. And I started thinking about the movie, and I was like, Dormammu, I've come to bargain with my fist.
With my fist.
Because, man, it was crazy. It was like, I remember the first fight when I was doing that legend run, I was like, Dormammu was down in 12 hits, and I was like, what? I was like, what?
Oh, we got, Jonathan Sorp just sent a super chat. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Very useful information as always, filling up the notepad. Thank you very much. Thank you. And someone asked me if I was playing with one hand. Yeah, I often play with one hand on this game. RoninNupe saw that, and Ronin was like, wait, you play with one hand? I was like, yeah, sometimes.
Yeah, man. Yo, Dave is up there like a with this big giant iPad. Like, so no, I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna give you a quick thing, man. What you don't realize, like, I like observing, watching people play. Cause I'm gonna tell you a way new. Back in the day, just a quick lesson before we wrap up. Back in the day, I couldn't parry. I was like evading off, man. I was a noob too from thing. And I was like, what is this? So I start asking questions. I'm the type of dude to ask questions. I'm like, how are you doing this? And watching videos don't always give you the full thing because you can't see how people play with their hand positions and all those other stuff. And the interesting thing is just like changing my hand positions after I talk to somebody upped my game. So I don't know if you guys, am I on there or is Dave, you're shining?
That's
can
mine.
you see my phone? Can you see my phone?
You want me to switch it?
No, but I'm just saying on the camera. Can you see my phone?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna do some contortionist here. So when I fight,
it's time to spoon with RoninNupe.
So when I fight, I'm gonna mess up here. But when I fight, I'm trying to show you hands. When I freaking fight, I'm gonna so mess up here. But do you see my thumbs? You guys see my thumbs? Can you see my thumbs in the video?
I got you, bro. You're in there.
All right. So I parry and block with this thumb. Probably gonna mess this up.
Spooning with RoninNupe.
And I evade back with the same attack thumb. You see that? I evade with this thumb. I used to evade with this thumb, and that's an awkward thumb position, like to drag your thumb back. So you guys see, yeah, man, it's all about the thumbs. You gotta work the thumbs in the right. You gotta thumb correctly.
I think it's all about the spoons, dog. I think that's what we're getting at here.
So do you see how I am when I'm doing this? But so that's like, I'm just saying, that's this. I block with the left. I evade also with that. See, I didn't hit that parry because I'm fighting all funny because I'm a contortionist. But do you see that? I don't know if that's helpful.
I mean, that's helpful for people that maybe play in that style.
Yeah. So, but anyway, I was trying to do some junk with Google Glasses and stuff because that's weird, interesting. Weird, interesting thing. Different people have different styles, but the point is that, I wish we could actually see more people's hand motion, because if you think about like the way your thumb position and the dexterity, so like somebody Copper said, I use my left thumb to evade. I use my right thumb. It's actually easier to take your attack thumb and drag it in the opposite direction it is to bend your thumb backwards. You know what I'm saying? So they're just interesting kind of things. And so all I use my left thumb for is to parry basically and block. And then there's also, the using block to manage distance, right, Dave?
Yeah,
you do
of course.
That, right?
Yep.
Like you use block to manage distance so you can intercept better. So I'm using all these terms. I didn't even know these terms, man. It's like interceptions and all that other stuff. But personally, I find evading easier. It takes some time, but I find actually you're more responsive evading with your right hand, with your attack hand, and dragging back, because the timing is, because the right thumb is closer to the enemy, so it's more responsive to their timing of evading. Because you think about it, like if it's your left thumb, you're really on your own character, and you're less responsive to the frame rates of the other character. Like, just for me, I don't know. I'm just kind of giving you some guys kind of interesting things to try out, to test out, because those things, people don't talk about that stuff, especially when you see just the screen vids, you don't see that stuff. So
hold on one sec. Mr. Electric Beach is asking if I can use this setup on Maestro when he has arc overload. Yes, you can. If you look at one of my past videos, I believe it was Quest to level 60, or you actually see the bleed team, Deep Wounds level 5 versus Ronin versus Maestro's arc overload, and yeah, I take him down with it completely.
Oh yeah, and there's beastie things. And Dave, listen to Dave. Dave's gonna got some other things too before we wrap. Dave's got some cool new videos coming out. We've been chatting about some stuff. I hope you cover some of it. Dave's got some like little sneaky tips of getting extra hits in when you parry on certain characters. He's got some sneaky tips in of like how to get extra. Man, dude,
I almost need to change the name of that series to Dave's Sneaky Tips.
No, man, I didn't know about that, dude. We were talking and like, yo, those sneaky tips are gonna come into handy for some legend run speed, man.
Yeah, man.
He's king of like getting some extra hits up in there, and I'm like, because we were talking about that. I'm just like, all I tend to do is like medium, light, medium, right? That's just kind of what I do, and I didn't even think about like that there are other sneaky combinations, and especially based on the stun time. It's not all about your parry, but your stun timer, that you can fit in more extra hits. And I got all excited. I'm like, that's some neat stuff. Oh, Michael Allgood, does AW Masteries definitely stick if you switch? Okay, so this is what I've seen. This may change. This is a valuable piece of information. Probably worth more than $2, but I appreciate it. So before, AW Masteries used to stick when you set the defense, but it appears that that has changed. So when I've noticed they stick, because I asked other things, is when it changes from defense to offense. So you want to make sure you have your AW defense masteries on until once it switches and says, you know, ready for attack phase, then you can change them to whatever you want to.
Sorry, I lost my timing. I was listening to your question. I was trying to read and fight Maestro at the same time.
Yeah. So did you get that, Michael? Like, or in the general audience, your masteries, and this is important with SwitchBlade. You want to set them for whatever you're using for AW defense if you're switching stuff up. And then if you need to change the arena grind back to suicides, etc., don't change them until after the offense starts.
Yeah, I want to SwitchBlade.
You want to what?
No.
Braids?
Yeah, nah, forget it. I'm just, at this point, I think we've been streaming so long, we've just moved to foolishness.
Yeah, I am like, what is it? My low glycemic levels, and I'm tired, and you know I need to get some lunch. And anybody in DMV, whatever, we can catch up for lunch, man. A couple people just shoot me a line, whatever. I'll catch up with people. It's interesting, man. It's interesting actually catching up with people in real life. It's kind of fun.
Yeah, man.
So, yeah, Dave and I, we had a good time.
There
I like
we go.
Miami. I got to make it down there.
I got my revenge. I did my proper evading because I got smashed before. But yeah, man. So, you know what, guys? I think we are going to leave it here. And thanks so much for watching. And thanks for all of the wonderful donations and the wonderful support that you guys gave us. Super Chat has been pretty great today. And so we're going to try to do this. I don't know if it'll be once a week. Maybe for now, let's just go once a month so we can plan good content. And then we can make it, you know, a little more consistent after that. But, or it'll just be something random like, hey, we just feel like streaming, so we'll just stream. So we'll do that too. So guys, again, thanks so much. And I think we'll catch you guys next time. So if you like the video, go ahead and click subscribe, click like, leave a comment, share with your friends, share with your mama. All that stuff helps me out and RoninNupe out. And go check out his channel on YouTube. Go ahead and let me know what that is, actually, Ronin. Type that in the chat, bro.
It's just, what is it? My RoninNupe, like C, YouTube/C RoninNupe.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, so yeah, youtube.com/RoninNupe. There you go. That works.
Yeah,
and
with the C, I guess, for a channel, right? Like /C/RoninNupe. Yep.
Oh, yeah. There we go. There we go. And, you know, we didn't even get the ending right because we keep talking. Okay, so that is it. Remember, guys, stay dorky, and we'll catch y'all on the flip.
All right.